But first to Myanmar, which goes to the polls on Sunday in an effort to sustain the fledgling democracy. Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy is widely expected to win a second term there, but there is a huge question mark over the ballot legitimacy. Due to armed conflict wiping out the vote in several parts of the country and simmering discontent in the ethnic areas, Aung San Suu Kyi led the NLD to victory 5 years ago, pulling down the shutters on half a century of military and military-backed rule. To the majority of Myanmar's 37 million registered voters, Suu Kyi remains a hero, an icon, the daughter of the nation's independence leader, the woman who stood up to the military. While the National League for Democracy is widely expected to win, some opposition parties have called the campaigning so far to be unfair. Due to the COVID-19 restrictions, campaigning was banned across Yangon, but NLD supporters have largely ignored the restrictions and set up various modes of rallies, from the use of motorbikes to boats. Smaller parties like the Democratic Party for a New Society do not dare to flash their candidates in public, instead doing quick drops of campaign leaflets in the residential areas. There are allegations against the NLD as well for taking advantage of the pandemic by portraying themselves as a savior for the poor. The voters are forced to assume that the relief support for COVID-19 is distributed by the ruling party instead of the government, is what she said. NLD denied the accusations, saying that they are faced with the same restrictions and challenges. There are 93 political parties registered for the general election, but the general public only knows of NLD and the USDP. Meanwhile, 5 million young voters will be able to cast their ballots for the first time in this Myanmar election, about 14% of the electorate, in a country that emerged less than a decade ago from near total isolation under the military rule. The nation's youth defies easy classification. For history student Y. Tun, for example, she can vote because she lives in Rakhine State's capital, Sitwe. But her family in her hometown will miss out on the voting. Myanmar had banned voting in a long list of areas over security concerns, leaving more than 1 million disenfranchised in Rakhine and hundreds of thousands more elsewhere. Meanwhile, as a Muslim living in the Bamar Buddhist heartlands of central Myanmar, Yan Min Khin faces a lot of discrimination but continues to support Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy. His hometown, Mektela, descended into intercommunal violence between Muslims and Buddhists in the year 2013, and the scars still remain. Yan Min Khin talks about how he has been waiting for an ID card for 4 years now, while his Buddhist friends received the document within weeks. Myanmar's Muslim minority, about 4% of the population, also faces systemic corruption. Unlike him, many Muslims plan to boycott Sunday's vote, disillusioned by Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy party and seeing no worthy alternative.
Anybody who say to get
Co-presented by Skoda, simply clever.